Wonder if it is. Wow, it works. Yay. I uh I tried to start the stream and it was just kind of booting up and it wasn't doing anything. And yeah, I kind of been feeling kind of tired from work and I have some school stuff to do, but I don't know. I gotta do something else. That's like I'm tired, but I still want to do something. But I couldn't think of anything exactly to talk about. So um, people might intermittently pop in here and ask questions, and I don't know if it'll be super long. It depends on how many people come in. But I I was like, you know what are some nerdy like debate questions? And I found this like article from it's called I guess the Odyssey Online, which it's in the entertainment section, which I thought might be potentially offensive. I wasn't sure. I mean, I guess it's kind of funny. It's supposed to be complimentary. It's nerdy conversations for beginners. Learn how to start a conversation with the people you need to pass college, which makes me think, okay, so this is for people who aren't nerdy, assuming I guess people that are nerdy tend to be, I guess, academically efficient or hardcore, which is like it's kind of an old stereotype. But I'm like, it just makes it seem like okay, the hook of the article is well, to get close to these people, you need to like help you with studying. You gotta know some nerdy stuff. So I don't think it's meant to be taken that seriously, but it's just a weird little subtitle. But I was looking through these and like, yeah, I guess some of these might be more timely, some of them might not be as universal. I don't know, but I guess we'll see. I'll give my 2 cents, and if people want to give me your opinions on them, they could be some good standpoints for discussion. And I was thinking some of these could be like debate questions for videos in the future by themselves, but I'll touch on some of them. Why not? Let me see. All right, what do we got? Okay, what's the first one here? I literally had it in front of me. I can actually talk about this one because it's a Skyrim question. Because I recently actually played like a decent amount of Skyrim not too long ago. I finally really played the game, and it was the main quest. Well, not the main quest. I guess one of the main. It's like the main background story. It's the secondary main story, I guess. But the Stormcloak versus Imperial Civil War. So let's see. In the Skyrim video game, either quest line is available to complete. There is total freedom to choose which side. Some players feel exceptionally passionate towards one side. Well, okay. I've only done one real playthrough of that particular quest, so I mean, I'll be honest. I could totally see the problem with the Imperials because I guess they're obviously sort of like the invading force and they're uniting all the kingdoms together under their rule. But you know, the people of Skyrim might not necessarily like that. Plus, I guess they what is it, the Thalmor, the elves that they're working with are pushing out the one god. So like there's kind of infringing on religious beliefs. So that's kind of the standpoint there with the Imperials, right? But then of course there's with the Stormcloaks who are the rebels. So most people probably say, oh yeah, let's fight against the Empire, right? Let's fight for our freedom, which on paper seems fine, but the people that are doing it are kind of like they're all about racial purity and wiping out anybody that's basically not a human from Skyrim. So like, oh, okay, so we're going to that extreme. Uh, well, personally, I guess you could see both sides of like depending on how you play your character, I guess, and how you choose to go about it. I'm sure that both sides have interesting perspectives. Uh, I just chose to. I mean, the way they design at the beginning of the game, you can kind of easily go with each side and side with either one, depending on how you choose to play your character, of course, which is cool. And I think I kind of went with the Imperials just because I kind of like the whole Roman Imperial advancement thing. I kind of liked the general. He didn't seem that bad to me. I mean, he's just kind of a guy doing his job. I like the idea of the people being unified by the Empire. And I'll be honest, my personal bias was more from Oblivion anyway, because that was like my first real Elder Scrolls experience, which I really recently started playing that game more too. So that was my initial experience that I have a lot of attachment to, where you first meet up with the Emperor and you're tasked with like helping save the realm because you meet the Emperor and he seems like a cool guy, and because he's Patrick Stewart, and you meet his son, and I got really invested in a lot of the Imperials are good guys that are the Blades trying to defend the Empire from all the the evil invading, and so in my mind, being from Tamriel and Cyrodiil, Cyrodiil specifically, and just thinking from my experience based on that game, I'm looking at the Imperials as these great guys, these noble heroes, right? But obviously, you see Skyrim. Oh no, okay, they can be considered oppressive. And I also have been getting more into Elder Scrolls lore because even though I did play a little bit of Oblivion back in the day and a little bit of Skyrim, I never was that hardcore into it. I didn't stick with any of the main quests because I just couldn't pay attention. I guess it's just the way I was. I just running around and doing random stuff and looking how cool the graphics were. That was pretty much it. And that was just enough for me to appreciate Skyrim and Oblivion back in the day. But actually playing through, I've been really getting more into the lore. And I learned that, I guess, Uriel Septon, the guy that's Patrick Stewart, he was actually the emperor in the first 4 games. He was kind of shady and did some questionable things because he was like the ruling king. But after his issues in the first game, getting betrayed by, I guess, that first mage back in Arena, it sort of changed him. So I don't know. It was interesting. It's not as clear cut as you might originally kind of, think it is. But the whole way that Oblivion's presented, it's kind of like an old fashioned feel good, just magical medieval fantasy. So I don't know. I kind of like that. And so that's the main reason I went for the Imperials. And also I kind of thought they were okay, but I don't know. I didn't really like the Stormcloak leader that much, to be honest. But in terms of which one's better, I mean, I don't know. I guess it just depends on how you want to look at it. I don't know. I mean, they're both kind of infringing on questionable things, but I guess the Imperials aren't trying to wipe people out just because they're different, which is, I guess, a good thing. So I guess that's where I'd stand on that. But I think it really just depends on how you want to look at it. So that's the first one they had. This came out in like 2016. So I guess Skyrim was still is pretty popular. So that kind of fits. Let's see what else we got here. What's the next question they have? Okay. What's your favorite Star Trek series? All right. Choices are the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise. This was 2016, so obviously this is before Discovery, Picard. The general consensus is the original series is best, but the best captain is Jean-Luc Picard. However, be prepared for anything. All right, I'm going to take a drink for this one. All right. It seems to me that the perception of Trek fandom among the hardcore fan base and in the mainstream is a bit different, because I feel like among Trekkies, Trekkers, people that genuinely like Star Trek, I mean, I think you could like them all or like one specific series, but I was actually thinking about this just the other day because I know that Zorro and Hero and a couple of my old buddies on YouTube here are actually getting into Star Trek finally, which is really cool. They're seeing it the first time, and I've just been a fan of it since I was a kid, so it's cool to see that whole new fresh experience. I know some people like the original series more. Some people like Next Gen more. Some people like Next Gen a lot more than the original series, or some people original series more than Next Gen. And there's a little more of a debate there. But then I think there are people that got into it just because of Next Gen, and I think they typically like DS9, Voyager, that they're kind of all lumped together. But then some people are, honestly, I hate on Voyager. I know a lot of people like DS9. I do too. But I think some people lump them together. And a lot of people that like Next Gen really hated DS9. But I've never heard of somebody that liked the original series and didn't like certain other ones. Okay. I have never met anybody that said they saw Enterprise first. That was their introduction. That was their favorite. And then they hated everything else. I feel like most people like Next Gen. I want to say these days, but I don't know. I feel like because of the Abrams movies, I think there's been more of an expand on the general consensus of what Trek stuff is. Because I think that more people appreciate the original series, even though obviously it's just more of an updated version. So I think that's kind of where that comes from. But according to this, most people like that. I'm I don't know. I think more people appreciate the idea and the image of the original series because it's so iconic. I think that the original series is more iconic because it's the oldest, it's been around the most, and that's the one that is kind of most responsible for Trek being in the pop culture and for organizing fan conventions and things like that. So maybe it's a little bit more, but I think next gen definitely rivals it. But yeah, I think most people would definitely say they like Jean-Luc Picard more as a captain. Although I feel like most people that say that would probably say they like next gen more. Though I would say, I don't know, it's tough, but I think that Picard's probably a better captain in a lot of ways. But I don't know if I'd say he's the most entertaining to watch by comparison. I mean, but okay. But I mean, I could be wrong. Like, for instance, there could be somebody that watched Enterprise, that was their introduction and loved it. Like, I mean, I think Enterprise has problems, and I'm not a huge fan of Voyager, but there's plenty of good episodes in all the shows, and I could see somebody loving all of them. Honestly, I think Enterprise is just really easy to make fun of, but I don't know. My favorite is, I mean, that's really hard for me because I mean, I feel like the original series is probably the one that I really am the most fond of just watching for fun. But I think there are some really great, real lot of really great episodes in Next Gen. Like I think Next Gen's technically the better show for the most part. But I don't know. My personal leanings are just more towards Trek because I grew up watching it, and I really like the Kirk Spock McCoy dynamic. I think there's nothing as honestly as fun or like with as much chemistry as even though the next gen crew has like a whole family dynamic that they push, and the writing obviously does go to a different level. Uh, the original series is just so fun, but the one I think is the best is DS9. So I kind of go back and forth on those three. It's kind of like three way there for me. But DS9 just has such fantastic writing, honestly. I don't know if that really answered the question, but yeah. Let's see. Hey, hero. Only saw the first episode of DS9. Yeah, man, the one with Picard hands over. I think DS9 is I don't know how you'll feel about it here. I think it goes into some really interesting areas for sure. But I know you said you were thinking about taking a break from Trek because you did watch a lot of it. But I don't know, man. I think that DS9 probably has the best writing, but I don't know if you like the adventure elements of the first two shows. There is a little less of that in DS9, but there's a lot of really good character stuff. But yeah, you said you were thinking you like Next Gen more than the original series. Do you still? And do you like? I know you said your favorite character was Spock. Do you like Data as much as Spock, or even more? Because they're kind of two different perspectives on the humanity thing. So I'm curious how you feel about that. Let me see what else I got here in this little article I found. All right, Han Solo shot first. I don't know if that's really a debate. It's just something that people are angry about that everybody kind of agrees. Like they got the clip here of the bad edit, which is his. He looks almost like he's been like CGI'd to make his face look more like they used old footage, I think. Um, yeah, I don't know if that's really a debate. Okay, this one you have been prepared for. In the original Star Wars movie New Hope, Greedo was the bounty hunter, has his blaster positioned on Han Solo. Han Solo then shoots Greedo from under the table. Then for the special edition for the trilogy, Greedo shoots at point blank range for no reason. Han Solo then shoots. Finally, the original footage was altered again to show both characters shooting at almost the same time. Greedo shot first, but Han Solo dodged the shot and fired. The exchange was so fast that, as indicated, Han Solo wasn't reacting to the original shot and was already planning on firing. Uh, so, I don't know, honey, what do you think about the whole Han Solo shot first debate? I know Honey Lemon doesn't really care about Star Wars that much anyway, but in some ways that means she has like the most unbiased opinion, which is probably the best. What are you talking about? I just found this article. All right. Okay, honey, tell me what you think about this article because I was bored and I didn't know what to talk about. I was like, okay, nerdy conversations for beginners. Learn. Yeah, I'm doing a live stream. Learn how to start a conversation with the people you need to pass college. Yeah, right. It's silly. The first one was the Stormcloak or Imperial, though, which I thought was cool. I know that's what I said. I just said Imperial because I like Oblivion, but I know
But
that's.
they're shit.
I know,
They
but
were gonna kill you
okay.
at the beginning of the game.
I think they were, but you don't know why. Maybe I was a criminal.
No, you weren't. You weren't on the list.
You don't know.
They said your name is
Oh
on
yeah,
the
that's
list,
right.
and then
Because
they were like, "We're gonna kill him
okay,
anyway."
but I was trying to escape the border, right? You're fleeing from the border, right?
No, you were just captured wrongfully. Your name wasn't on the list.
But we don't know. Your character's a blank slate. You can make whatever you want. But look, the general guy was a Tullus. Tally, yeah, he seemed fine. He didn't seem bad. He was just doing his job. He's like a Roman captain, you know, just general guy. Is it good? Is it not stale? Is it stale again? I got 2 more new ones. Oh, sorry, people. I know it's just Hero watching right now, but it's fine.
You just talked to him.
I might actually. Hero, do you want to do a call in a minute? I'm just gonna. I don't think a lot of people are on here. I'll probably just go through these questions. Do you want to have a chat, Hero, if you're still on here? Oh yeah, Hero's gonna jump to Orville. Do it, man. I'll watch Orville with you. Yo.
Okay, bye.
No, bye, honey. Wait, honey, you doing anything? Did Aiden leave yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you busy?
Why?
I was just curious. I don't know if you were up to anything because I don't know how long I'll be on here. I might talk to Hero. Maybe I do a call for the channel. I don't know.
I can busy myself.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's up to you. Bye, honey. I don't know if Hero's still on here, but all right, I'm gonna go through these questions here and see what people wanna. Yeah, Han Solo shot first is not a debate. It's literally something that was. George Lucas, I guess, said he wanted Han Solo to be a more likable character, and he didn't believe a person that just shot first like that could ever be redeemed. And I think that that's the whole interesting thing about Han Solo's character is he was kind of a selfish, bad guy who learned to think beyond himself, and that's why Han Solo is great. And I've actually been thinking a lot about Han Solo lately, about his place in the Star Wars fandom, because I think Han Solo is probably the most popular character in the general movie-going Star Wars fandom, which is interesting because I feel like most people that like Star Wars are interested in the Force aspect of it, the Jedi, the lightsabers, and all that stuff, which is fine. I love that stuff too. But I've always liked the fact that Star Wars has this big universe with a lot of things, and I liked the political stuff in the prequels, believe it or not, and even a lot of the expanding universe stuff. Like my favorite stuff was actually learning the Jedi Apprentice series when I was growing up, reading Qui-Gon training Obi-Wan, and you learned what the Jedi did in the Republic. You learn what they did. They were negotiators, they were detectives, they were bodyguards. They did a lot of interesting things. I was like, it was really cool to see what the Jedi actually did. And it was cool. And I liked that stuff. And I also liked I honestly liked the underworld aspect of it, like the huts and the all the criminal stuff and like the bounty hunters, obviously the Mandalorian. The Old Republic has a lot of interesting world building stuff. So I just find it interesting that there's all that stuff, but I think Han Solo is probably the most popular character. And I don't know if that's true or not. Like I've always been more of a Luke Skywalker guy, and I don't think there's a wrong answer, but I just wonder, like, I think that aspect of his character being obviously the more grounded guy the audience can relate to, and his arc, at least through the first movie, being so compelling, I think is probably the main reason why people like him, which is why people got so mad about that change. Personally, I just think it's unnecessary, and people get so up in arms about the things they care about because what they're used to, and they develop an attachment to it, and you go back and change something like Star Wars, which is just about the most beloved piece of pop culture, I guess, in the world. It's up there for sure. So it's kind of like, obviously, it's like a really strong feeling about it. And I personally think it should have been something he should have just let the original films be made available, and he could have his edition if he wants. That's fine. Director's cut, fine. like you're fine. People release director's cuts all the time with things cut out and things re-edited, and most of the time people are like, oh, this is what the director really wanted, and the studio didn't interfere. That's cool. But with Star Wars, it's like, oh man, he's not allowed to do it. I think he is allowed to do it. It's his movie. It's just that he went too far, I think, with saying you can't enjoy the original movies that you fell in love with, and I can't make them available. Which I can't believe it. I hope Disney can find a way to make those original cuts officially available, because original Star Wars cuts are still great. But I think it's mostly just that those, like all the interjected unnecessary CGI stuff was just not, it clashes and it just looks so bad. It takes you out of the movie. And that's the thing. Like the re-editing of the Han Solo thing is just, you couldn't re-edit it without completely reshooting it, and you couldn't reshoot it. So it's just like, you probably should have just left it alone. Though now with the technology they have, they probably could recreate the scene and make it almost seamless now with that Disney money. So he was 20 years too early, but now he could probably almost do it. Does that mean he should do it though? That's another question. But Han Solo shot first is not really a debate. He shot first. He shot first. It's fine. Greedo was gonna kill him anyway. Yeah, Hero. I'll do a call with you, man, in a few minutes. Let me read these questions here. I'm kind of on a roll, and then I'll then I'll be on there. Hero, a quick question: do you have Hulu? Actually, because I'm gonna check something real quick. But I bet you do. I bet you have Hulu. I bet that's how you've been watching Star Trek. I'll bet. Dude. Orville's on Hulu. You want to watch some Orville with me? I'll totally watch some Orville with you. I love the Orville. Orville's great. Okay, where was I? What's your Harry Potter house? This isn't a debate. Okay, most of us at least heard of Gryffindor, the house Harry and his friends were sorted into. This house is recognized for its courage and loyalty. This is Ravenclaw. These people are noted for their intelligence and resourcefulness. Hufflepuff is for the humble, hardworking, and trustworthy, but is also associated with taking any student who do not fit in anywhere else. Okay. Finally, Slytherin is the house with the most ambitious and cunning. People sorted into Slytherin are typically associated with evil, though this is not always true. That's not a debate. I guess it's a conversation piece to think about your personality if you want to be fit. Courageous and loyal, intelligent and resourceful, humble, hardworking, and trustworthy, ambitious and cunning. Well, the cool thing is you could see all those different aspects of the personalities and probably fit them. I always thought I was a Ravenclaw, but I don't know how intelligent and resourceful I really am. I mean, I guess I'm good with the books, and I think about things a lot, and I like the academics, probably. That's why I put myself there. But I think of myself as being pretty humble, hardworking, and trustworthy. Courageous and loyal. I'd love to say I'm the Gryffindor leader guy with the sword, but I don't think that's me. I actually like Slytherin, ambitious and cunning. But I'm ambitious, but am I that cunning? I don't know. I remember as a kid at the one of the Harry Potter things. I think it was for the fourth book, the book opening. They had the games and you could get sorted. And I was so mad I got sorted into Slytherin. I don't know how they did that, but I think I'm a Ravenclaw. I could see Hufflepuff though. And I could even see Slytherin in a different context, perhaps, but I'm probably not a Gryffindor house person. Alas, if you had the TARDIS, where and when would you go? TARDIS is a tool used by the Doctor in the long-running television series, Doctor Who. They didn't say that. Not only can it travel through time, but also through space. The name itself is an acronym for time and relative dimension in space. You should also know that the Doctor is a Time Lord. This means he's an alien who reincarnates as different bodies. Therefore, he can be portrayed by nearly any actor, which is why Doctor Who has been on forever. That's a good question. I kind of want to say I want to go back and see the Lincoln thing, like with the assassination. But instead of just going back, I think I want to go back to like my favorite time period, which would be like medieval Renaissance Europe, like England, probably. like that, like right around the time of the Henry VIII and Queen Elizabeth, William Shakespeare, all that stuff. I just think that would be really cool. Ah, yes, DC or Marvel. Ah, yes, the okay, the age debate here. Just a quick rundown. Both are comics companies responsible for superheroes: DC, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Batman, and The Flash. Marvel, Captain America, X-Men, The Fantastic Four, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. Let's see. If I went by the ones that I liked the most, wow, you know what? I like every single character that they listed for DC, and I like all the ones they listed for Marvel, but I will admit I'm not like hardcore Captain America fan or a Fantastic Four fan or an Iron Man fan. It's like I can tell you right now, I think I love Spider-Man and the X-Men a lot. Like sometimes I could say that I might like them just as much. Spider-Man I might like the most. Probably my favorite superhero. Probably him and Daredevil are pretty up there. But I think DC overall I like more. But I think Marvel wins that debate more these days, but I don't know. Oh. Okay, yeah, if you can find it, man, somewhere, that's cool. But I know that I watched Orville on Hulu. I could watch that again. I didn't know Star Trek was still on Netflix. I know some of it was, but wait, it is still on Netflix. Yeah, you're right. What am I talking about? I just have Hulu up all the time and Netflix, so I should know that. I have it in my queue too. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh man. Mac or PC. I've never really used a Mac, so I don't really know. My consensus from what I've heard from people is Mac is really good for creative stuff, but after years later, it seems like if you get a really good PC, it's about the same and usually less expensive than a Mac. And Mac is just really fancy and cool, but it's not necessarily that much better. I guess it depends what you want to do, but like, I don't know. I feel I edit my videos on a PC. I do play video games on PC. I don't know. I don't think I need a. Maybe if I had to have a lot of stuff on a Mac, I don't really know what the difference is. I don't know if there is a difference. Why didn't the hobbits just take the Eagles to Mordor? Because then it wouldn't be a story that we care about and be interesting to watch. You got to have the conflict. Hotly debated topics. Some nerds have an answer ready to go. Some don't. No matter they know what you're talking about. I think there is some BS reason why the Eagles didn't take them. Like they didn't want to get involved, but they helped Gandalf with when he was getting captured by Saruman, and then they fought in the Battle of the Five Armies. So it's stupid. It's just there's no good answer to the question. They were busy. They were afraid of Sauron. I don't know. They're inconsistent characters. The Eagles, Eagles are super powerful in Tolkien, from what I understand. They're giant eagles. This is not a debate. Have you seen the new Star Wars movie? It's just a question. Like you won't be accepted if you haven't seen the new Star Wars movie. Oh man. This was about The Force Awakens. That's how old this article is. Chances are, if you're a nerdy person, you've probably seen the newest Star Wars movie, but not necessarily these days because some people didn't see Rogue One, I think, and a lot of people didn't see Solo. So it's not a guarantee, but if it's a main one, I don't know. I wonder what the future for Star Wars movies is right now because I really don't know. I really, really don't know. And the last one's Jon Snow. Spoilers. And this is 2016, so it's like it's Jon Snow. Really dead, and if he's not, how's he coming back to life, and who are his parents? Really? This article is not relevant right now. Who? I guess if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, you're probably not going to now. Oh man. Jon Snow. That was a good season cliffhanger, though, I will admit. Who? It's not a debate. I guess it would have been a good debate at the time, actually. Whew. Okay, Hero, if you're still watching, do you wanna do a call? We can do one for the channel or fandom group. We can just talk, whatever, for a little bit. I'm kind of tired, but I can watch an episode of Orville with you if you want. I'll wait for his response. Hopefully, he's watching. And not a lot of people signed on, but that's okay because I'm tired anyway. I was just doing this because I couldn't think of anything else to talk about on the stream. I'll wait for him to talk back. But yeah, that was a weird cluster of questions. Some of them made really a lot of sense. They were deep. They were just so. The thing is, they're so general though. Like these questions are so general. Like I want more. I guess that's what you got to do. You got to get find. You got to find the specific topic, and then you got to like within series based things or you know just like man, there's just wait. I geeky conversation starters. I just wish, like, I know I've thought of a lot of these randomly throughout my life, but like I can't remember any of them. These aren't real. You no no these aren't good. They're not good. Okay. Well. All right, guys. Well, I don't think too many people are watching, but that was just some random little thing I wanted to do. So I'm probably going to talk to Hero. But everybody take it easy.